Comfortable. Watch this route. They called a shake 7, 4th outside, sell the post, then that left foot just spin.
Marvin Harrison is someone I'm really happy they're looking to get involved in this.
Alert check on the previous drive that kind of made him stall in the red zone. This time.
Unbelievable Pickens up top for 44.
Now this is what they're used to seeing. He's talking about a level of trust that Dak had already
in the passing game all day. Versus off coverage, which Isaiah Rodgers worried about. He's worried about slant. He's standing at the first down to gain line, and he's going to drive everything.
Before, this is like guarding a power forward, making the move to the basket.
Look at that stab inside, gets Lassiter to release inside and just...
Who's out there? It's Darius Slay. He's going to get to the inside. I'm surprised they're not...
1-1 on Lattimore. It's just an angle route.
T. Higgins runs a clean route. It's just really good anticipation. I love the length there, but what it really... Jalen Ramsey against Jamar Chase. Condensed in tight to give him more room to work with. Ramsey there, that's the... you can see him kind of acting with both...
An aggressive under center, play action, and just the double move and the speed on the outside by Devontae Smith against Isaiah Rodgers, the former Eagle.
Not give up on this play. The third-year player out of Michigan, he's beat, but he doesn't give up on it and ends up ripping it out.
He uses its timeouts and sets up what could be a game-winning field goal.
Great call, Al. I'm right there with you. Tight coverage, pulls away late, and then right there, the veteran Jalen Ramsey. You can see the leverage to the outside, but the route goes in and then back out. And look at the location of the football. Let him get his feet.
Wiggles in that route right there. Darnell Mooney going to go out, up, and then finally just give him a chance on the outside. They have missed him out with a hamstring injury a week ago. But everybody talks about Mike.
Stands in the pocket, knows where Pickens is. It's a tough matchup on Lattimore, turns him around.
Don't have enough time to really get the ball down the field, and that's a heck of a job by Josh Jobe.
One-on-one on a quick fade. If you like it, take it. Nobody better at creating separation. Maybe a little push off.
Jaycee Horn one-on-one on the edge. Watch his feel right here. As soon as he feels the receiver looking for the ball, he flips his hips and his head around.
Watch Lenoir here on this one. Deommodore Lenoir. Watch him just butt push him right out of bounds. He's got him secured. There you go. Goodbye.
Settling in his 4th year.
Watch the hands of Sauce Gardner right here. Hands on him, hands on him. Now just drive back, get your hand in there. By the quarterback with wide open wide receivers. And Jaycee Horn, this is just about staying on the go. Look at how bad he's beaten, but he just keeps fighting, gets that one hand up there.
Right there, the rookie, Kyle Williams, he gets in the game a little bit of a stutter and tries to put his foot back in the ground right there.
This is such a hard play to try and defend. You're going to see this time after time after time from Drake London.
And really, it was just a little bit of a bump, and Carlton Davis got knocked off.
You like it, you throw it, and Devontae does the rest, going up high. Back over.
Doing out here man-to-man because why? You got to bring pressure. You've got to create a turnover. Man-to-man defense against Liggett and can't get it.
Well, they said we're going to have to use everybody. Everybody's going to have to play their role. Nice little stick here to get to the inside. Good throw to the back of the end zone.
I'm going to let Terry maybe come in here, but what I see is Porter doing a good job of in phase and then turns around. And because he turns around
from LSU. Charles, I'll say it again. There's not a quarterback in the NFL that has thrown the deep ball better than Drake May. And this is one heck of a catch.
They're so difficult. Rice goes inside. He plays in the slot, plays the top.
Keeping his eyes downfield, a simple double post. Devontae Smith holds the safety. A.J. Brown's the outside post. This Eagles offense getting back to who they've been. This drive embodies it about as well as you can imagine. Metellus, he's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker. That is not a great matchup on A.J.
They ever need it. It's a little out and up. Coach Harbaugh said they wanted to be aggressive, and they get aggressive. Gadsden just gets open despite the hold from Cross, and then it's the run after the catch.
and completely knocked him off his feet, knocked him off the route. That just could not be done.
Back under center. He turns his back to you. You see the eyes in the backfield. That's all it takes, and that's how
he has outside leverage. And the reason he has outside leverage is he has safety help to the inside there with 21, Chuck Clark. So that's exactly where when Flacco came rolling.
That was one heck of a throw by Cam Ward. The Patriots are sitting in zone coverage, and it was an extremely tight window.
Side, just watch this route. You go up and go, where's right, whoop, right inside, and that's the biggest difference maker he makes, Jim. His ability not only to run after catch.
You're going to see he had all day long in the pocket. He saw Nick Cross's back turned and thought he'd be able to lead Quentin Johnson out
at the same time, and you see, going to be able to run all the way across the field. And with all these people.
Yeah, just a really nice job on the back end. Double teaming Justin Jefferson. Quinyon Mitchell plays underneath. Reed Blankenship plays over the top. See DeJean there working in the slot.
Second and 8 against 12.
Great throw by Nix, extending this play, getting to the outside. But watch how Franklin comes back to it. If he doesn't come back to it, a lot of times.
And then this is just a late throw. He's kind of a stop, and that's the route. With Lane on Bridges, and then that's the second route when he sees him holding on to that ball.
Watch Surtain as he lets him go, and then he drifts back. Watch. He sees the crosser coming, but he's like, you see the acceleration? Once he baited him into that, he tried.
He sinks the punting unit is out there.
Well, watch Sutton as he presses up here. He knows he's got man. He goes 2 yards past where the first down is, but by coming back to the full field coverage, as you just said, here's 89, little Jordan Humphrey. He's trying to come back to the ball. He looks and he sees that he's scrambling.
We knew from watching practice the other day that Juwan Jennings, who has had just about every kind of injury you could have to start.
There's Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the game, going against.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 7. After distance to the goal.
Throw up, and there you see him. He's on Nick. Actually, he's not. They turn him loose.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant trying to pick him up. It's Tariq Woolen down here in press coverage outside. Now, he's just trying to get back into phase, running to get back to the hip, turns around, looks for the football.
This is an amazing job by Cade Otton. I mean, he has no control of the ball right here, and yet he does. You know, and that he's able to fight it away. You know, remember this play as we see what happens on this drive.
This crowd is ready to erupt one way or the other. They're either going to cheer. They've seen this on the video board about 5 times, or they are going to let these officials have it.
But time after time, as you mentioned, Joe.
Yeah, it's just going to come into the inside a little bit in motion. There's Tyreek Stevenson moving with him, so you know you got man. He runs right up on top of him. He doesn't flip his hips soon enough. He lets Olave get on top of him, and he runs by him. That's where we're just waiting. I mean, he's going to have to throw this around these 3 guys. I mean, watch this. This is really well done. Well, actually, it's the linebacker, T.J. Edwards, dropping back.
Position. It's just, he touches the ball. Sam can't throw a better ball than that.
He's always open, dropping underneath, ball out, timing, outstanding.
That's Stingley and Anderson, and he split them.
You can see the route here by Tez Johnson. This is not an easy throw by Baker Mayfield as he's moving to his left, trying to get his shoulders turned to deliver a ball on the strike. They're the best in the league run after the catch, and they've got those types of players that once they get the ball in their hands, they're difficult to bring to the ground, but you just got to
hospital of a groin injury, making big plays for 26 here.
Yeah, you got some inside leverage by Kool-Aid McKinstry right there. You can see him beat, and there's that timing. And what have they been talking?
More air on that ball. There's Hutchinson going to the corner. He's open.
Yeah. I'm going with the quarterback sneak here. I agree, Lou. Like, that's a great play by Okada.
Hesitates at all. Campbell's going to get picked up, and then Rachaad White's going to have the ball in space. But he beats Heck.
Concept would help him out. Mark's ball just kind of goes through his hands. He's not able to get his hands situated and secure that. Horace to kind of track Horton down. You see Horton may have a step at first. That looks like it's coming open as you see the safety MJ Stewart.
Wins in this short area space. And I want to. This is nice coverage. Schultz, he's trying to get that outbreaker, but Lou, that corner Job is playing with vision.
There, he's playing a trap con.
It's also, we're trying to block a defensive end with the tight end.
It's just, it's nothing easy for C.J. Stroud. That time is Uchenna Nwosu coming off his front side. We talk about this Texans pass rush. This Seattle pass rush is in C.J. Stroud's face play after play after play. Just playing outside leverage, knows that he got help in the middle of the field, and you see him and Warren just come flying. This is a big man now, 6'3", 220 pounds, playing that nickel position.
That's a physical nickel. The sky is the limit for this rookie.
38 of the New York Giants.
Teams have gone after Phillips all season long. He's given up some yardage, this time throwing a back shoulder.
Yeah, what a catch. Perfect throw. And we've seen that from George Pickens. Those aren't the ones, actually, I will say this. That's a great catch.
Here, let's see. They're going to be right in the slot. Gets to the outside. McMillan has some grab. It's all within there. There's nothing there.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I mentioned, he's bigger than most people think, faster than most people think. Look at the speed. Said you are wishing that you had led Trey McBride, and that would have been a walk-in touchdown. You notice that Trey had...
It is a first down.
Well, just straight up throw it to the back of the shoulder, back of the helmet. You know what's going to
go at Tennessee, and he had separation.
A little double move, a little slant and go.
No, this is amazing to me that Trey McBride could be this wide open in the red zone after he scorched him for a touchdown before.
Play Mariota in the pocket. Again, more trouble with the protection. And Mariota using his legs to escape, but sometimes knowing the journey's over. You've been on the sideline all day long. And then you try to make a hero play and throw it to the one hero that Dallas has on
field. They're looking right back into this. I like the fact that he puts the ball out there, gives him a chance to come up with it. Mims nearly gets a miracle one-handed catch. Good defense there.
Play action fake. You got more just on a simple over route. And no way Bell can stick with him. And that's one.
Play well.
Well, this is an excellent throw from Bo Nix, dropping it over the underneath coverage.
What a catch by Mims and a thicket of defenders. A forced. Wow.
It's nothing special. He's just running through the middle of the defense. He sees it. When that arm goes up, he's telling Dak, throw me that rock. And then he gets it a little bit late because Dak saw it a little bit late, but then with the collision.
Well, Sutton's someone they like to get to, especially on these short slant throws. That ball's a little high. Robinson just lined up in the slot. They take advantage of the outside, taken off the corner. It's way back. Look how far off the ball he is. Look at the cushion there. And he tried throwing one up. Obviously, it drifts out of bounds, so it's not. Let's go back to the catch on the previous down, and it's going to be Robinson working in the middle of the field. Watch as he's trying to buy time, and then he realizes he gets outside the pocket.
Causes a little bit of confusion and traffic for the defensive backs. Keenan Allen tries to go back for it, unable to catch it. Incredible ball. Herbert had to scramble out a little bit. The O-line gave him a good pocket to start, and then he scrambles out and delivers a dart to a guy who's been doing this. Reads it perfectly, jumps into it, and gets his hand right between the breadbasket of Michael Pittman.
That's a really good ball. 9 out of 10 times, Justin Jefferson comes down with it. They teach defensive backs, continue to fight through the hands all the way to the ground.
And just gets his hand right in there like a DB, breaking up the ball. Beautiful job by the linebacker to save him. They get him wide open all the time. He pretends to block, slips out into the flat, and it feels like any time you see Tyler Warren catch the ball, there's nobody.
On Vidal, he is the great nephew of Hank Aaron.
And this is what...
Yeah, nice job here by Harrison Smith, just staying flat and driving on this. It's actually a pretty good ball.
Alec Pierce is going to take this and make it look like he's running across the field. Instead, he peels it back out on a flag and is just wide open in between that zone.
Automatic first down.
You're going to see it's just man-to-man coverage right here and a little soft, which allows McCollum.
Excellent here by Campbell. It is. And one thing that he did at the last moment, he tried to turn and locate the football.
Really nice job here by Alec Pierce, utilizing leverage. He sees that the cornerback has outside leverage. He's got a little dig route across the...
Does a great job checking into that. You hear him say, water, water. Reed Blankenship, he blitzed off the backside free safety. That's exactly the zone that was.
Really nice job running stride for stride here. St. Juice just runs the key
from Syracuse.
This is just a great play design and then a great decision by Justin Herbert. It's a little levels concept coming back. Yeah, he ended up getting some pressure into his face, which forced him to backpedal a little bit as he was trying to get this throw off, which just staying on top of Alec Pierce, who is a speedster, gets downfield, had some huge catches in the fourth quarter last week. And it's just
ball's a little more out in front of him, but it's a really basically a play that's going to be everyone go up, different levels, go across the field, and the amount of time that Patrick Mahomes has right now, he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah, so this time, little quick jam, zone coverage. He's got his eyes in the backfield and manipulate the pocket. He's been under a tremendous amount of pressure all game against this Vikings defense. Nice job there by A.J. Brown coming back.
This is a bullet on a curl route.
Decision by Carson Wentz. Nothing open downfield. A lot of soft coverage, and just check it down to the best player on your team, Andrew McCoy.
Yeah. See how they switched that? Here's Kelsey. Had underneath defenders, couldn't get that one in there. It's a throwaway. But this was great in many levels. Great job by Holmes.
Right there for Miami, a pickup of 16.
You say fearless, I say careless. You know, that I don't know how.
On third down, these Vikings fans have seen these two guys work together for a really long time.
It was to Thornton Jr., and this is man-to-man. It's a good throw. Everything is correct. The problem is the coverage is better.
On the other side, but this is perfect. I want you to watch that left arm. You see that? They call that being in phase right there. Want to feel the receiver so that I can look
against each team.
Well, there he is right here, man-to-man down here on the screen. You can see him on Jatavian Sanders just grabbing that jersey.
And we were told that there would be an uptick in opportunities to target him today. He's a developing player for this offense.
Well, you put the ball on the numbers on. Well, here he is down here on the bottom of your screen, and great throw by Andy Dalton.
Could not hold on. A good defense pulling that out.
You get another deep one right now, and why the Carolina Panthers are letting the Jets get behind them, I have no idea, but I mean, that's just one.
Money with passes that are deep down the field, and Diggs does such a great job of what we call late hands.
Going to see it here as he's rolling out to his left-hand side. Route on the bottom. Nice little catch, put it high and up.
You're going to get Taylor. He's just going to come across the formation in front of the face of the linebacker. That ball is perfectly on.
Nice route on this end. We're going to give a little lean to the corner here. I get one-on-one on the free safety. Cross his face, nobody on the backside. Good throw by.
Near the first down marker at the 30. You need to really get beyond that.
Mike Jackson just all over him. How you came away with that football.
I thought Jackson might have.
I thought Jackson had it, and he just kind of laid it into the breadbasket of Reynolds. And
Drake May, there's not a quarterback in the NFL right now that has thrown the deep ball better than he. He's right here. He's looking at Hooper. He loses track of him in this zone, tries to catch up, and this is a fantastic play by Austin Hooper. You teach guys. Great job right here on the play action. You guys saw all of the space where Mac Hollins catches that ball in the middle.
Well, Stevens, they're just running a smash combination. And watch Stevens right here. Once he sees this, nope, quarterback reading the eyes, get off of that, of this formation. So both of these corners, look at all three of those players, they're just in that triangle.
From Georgia, we have a player injured back inside the 30.
You're just going to get this game inside here, and they have had such a tough time picking up games on the inside, and you see Smith double.
33 yards. And the deep corner route is going to run right through the contact. Draw a penalty. Good throw by Trevor Lawrence, but you see bootleg, but it's a double move. You're going to see the corner post. Normally on a naked bootleg, you run to the corner. We're going to give a little lean there. Make them think we're running that naked bootleg. Come looking for the jam here on the bottom of the screen. Uses his hands to throw off the DB, create a little separation, a good throw up and over, and being able to track it. This is what he does. He scores touchdowns.
Zach Taylor's going to run the football. They need to work some clock, and they come out in the very first play. They see a one-on-one matchup against a backup corner. Look at the location of that ball. Put it right over his outside shoulder, and he only gets the one hand up. And
Thomas ends up slowing down to create that contact, and then the ball's a little too far for him to make the catch. Just keep running. Keep running. See how he slows down right there, and then he can't.
Davante Adams.
No kidding. Bring it on. Few guys better at being able to create separation. And you see he won early.
And receivers to work on timing. Look at this, ball's out. Ball's out. Ja'Marr Chase then turns. And it's a player in the NFL all year. And he does everything. You know, he's got ball skills. We saw that in the previous play. But he's a running back after the catch. You know, he can go downfield vertical. Fired it out there to Ja'Marr Chase. There's the cushion by Slay. Heck of a job. The athletic ability ends up helping him out.
You see the feet and eyes come back, but this has been a problem for the Jags and Brian Thomas throughout the season. Perfect throw right on the 7.
Josh Newton is a corner, but he's got some good size to him, and you would think this is a matchup advantage for Pittsburgh, but you could see the awareness.
Play. Nice wide open grab by Patrick. That was much needed.
He threw this thing that he even took an opportunity. The little lean inside, the deep corner route. Good coverage right there. Perfect. You're going to see just on the inside of your screen, it is going to just sneak up underneath what we call an insert inside the tight end. Sneak to the first drive. We're just feeling it out. A lot of short passes, running the football. Now we come out here in the second drive, and let's wing this thing down the field. The corner routes to Atwell.
Metcalf. You know, he's out here, but look at his eyes. He sees where the football is thrown and immediately comes over to help out. That is a great play.
Connects for a gain of 18.
Yeah, you just got to marvel at the timing of this. 3rd down and long against this defense. They sit back and play zone, only rush 4. But as you see, that's...
They're going to watch Cooper Kupp go on an inside post. Petrie's going to follow. Look at Sam Darnold. Freeze it at the top. I mean, he's going to have chaos right there. Look at, he is getting destroyed, and just a trust throw to JSN. Look how Jason uses his body just to kind of float in the air.